Okay, good morning everyone. Hi, it's John Lee here. I'm here for the chess.com Crazyhouse Championship qualifier. This is the first qualifier of the series. It's a very exciting event. I've got the website up here, so if you want, you can have a look. The link is at the top of the page. We've got, if you go to chess.com and you search down, you'll find there's a Crazyhouse Championship announcement. You'll see it's let me just bring it down a little bit so you can see it, because I think it's out of view. The link is just here. Yeah, basically there's a $2,000 prize fund, which is going to be well, it's the winners will be decided on the 10th of December. So there's 20 qualifiers running between today, 30th November, and up until December 9th. You've got 2 per day. You can have a look here. Qualifying tournaments will run each day at 10 a.m. Pacific and 5 p.m. Pacific. So that's Pacific time in the US, so check that out. There'll be 7 rounds of 3-0 Crazyhouse in each of the qualifiers. The final will be 15 rounds, also 3+0 increment. And yeah, there's the prize breakdown. So first prize gets $500. It's free to enter. You got nothing to lose. We've got some participants, which may include some of the Super GMs. You have myself participating here. Also, Kazim Gulamali has confirmed his participation. So look, it's a great event. I'm happy to support this. It's great for Crazyhouse. So get on. I'm going to open up the tournament here. We've got about 1 minute before this first qualifier begins. So we've got a fairly decent lineup here. We've got Atomic. We're going to have a number of players that have not actually played too much on the site, perhaps, that are potentially underrated. You can see Saucy is here as well. I can see Ecaf. So yeah, there's a good field. I'm really looking forward to playing. I'm looking forward to getting some good practice with this qualifier. So yeah, we're less than a minute away. I've got a comment already in the channel. It says the Laminator says, who do you think are the main threats or best players in this tournament? I actually don't know who's going to be playing in the main event. Kazim Gulamali is also known as VA Boris on Fix. He's probably going to be one of the strongest contenders, but there are many other players that are talented. This will be quite new to the world for many people. It's a game that's been played for many years. I myself have played the game for about 16 years now. So yeah, there's a good set of 20 players probably that I'd be looking out for, and I'm not sure if they'll be competing. Yeah, so we're on the way here. So I'm going to provide some commentary while I play. I'm up against an opponent named SXEW. Here we've had an early Bishop G4 come out. The way I'm looking here is there's some potential light square weaknesses. I'd like to make some light square weaknesses to start penetrating. Okay, an early capture here. I think the capture here is to play e5 and fork the queen and the knight. I'm going to take with the queen so that after e5 I can play queen a4. So for those of you completely new to Crazyhouse, the way this works is you have it's just like normal chess, except that when you capture a piece, it turns to your color, and the piece goes on the side of the board, and you can put a piece on the board as a move. So this opens a lot of new possibilities, a lot of sharp tactical play. I used to be a chess player myself as a junior. I got to about 2250 FIDE, but I haven't played any tournament chess for about a decade. I have though remained active on Crazyhouse, so this is my preference these days. So yeah, I've picked up a couple pieces here. I've got a couple knights. Black's got a couple pawns in return, but yeah, this is losing another pawn. I'm going to make it a little bit decisive here, so I've got to check on the king. If there's a recapture on d5, knight takes d5 will be mate. Now I'm renewing the threat of knight at d5, where if capture, knight takes d5 is mate again. So knight at b4 is preventing that threat. I think I'll go and play it anyway. So my idea here is that he takes d5, knight takes d5, knight takes d5, queen takes d5. But from here, the main thing in the game is to keep my opponent's king less safe than my own, and maintain some pressure. So here, forking the king and queen. If capture, I'm just happy to capture the queen here, because this bishop will be pinned. Now, if the bishop takes the queen here, I'll have queen at f5 check, and after king e7, knight at c6 check, bishop takes c6, knight takes c6 to mate. So let's play that. Okay, so that's the first match down in the qualifier. This is actually the first Swiss tournament I've played on chess.com. So it's been a while since I've actually played a Swiss event. So let's see how the field's going. We've got Atomek, Yordin. I don't know who these players are. Yordin, UB Dip, Kixie Wixie. Ekarf, I know. Ekarf's a very strong player. Maybe hasn't played too many on the site, but that's a name to be looking out for. Okay, Ari Erin Chelik says good game, and Paul Huxley says nice one. Thanks, guys. It's to give you an idea, it's about 5 a.m. here in Sydney. It's actually a weekday. It's a working day. I'm having to take this time slot because the alternative time slot at 10 p.m. Pacific time coincides with there's another time 5 p.m. Pacific time when the tournaments happen. That'll coincide with about midday for me, so I'll be at work during then. Joe Xiazek, he says, hope to see Jan Lee play some strong chess players. He says, I think Hikaru will be playing in the main tournament. Well, I certainly hope we see Hikaru and some other Super GMs. Ian Cavey says, is this the only way to qualify for the main tournament? So yes, that's correct. You'll need to play in one of these qualifiers. Okay, so we're up against ECAF. So this is not an easy match. So this should be interesting. So ECAF is a player from Fix. He's very strong. He knows what he's doing. Okay, we've got an e4, e5 position. This is usually quite balanced. I'm going to play knight at f6. This attacks the g5 pawn, but it also covers h5, which is a penetration square. And because he's pinned my knight, I just want to put another piece on to hit h5. Okay, so knight at e4. So I'm seeing if there's anything on with knight takes e4 and there's any tricks, but I think it's a bit too ambitious. So knight takes e4 takes, knight at h3 takes, king g2, knight f4, king g1. Yeah, I'm taking a long time to move here. I think I should play more sensibly with rook g8. I'm going to do that. So if there is a capture on f6, I can recapture. So I'm a bit concerned here that I've taken too much time for that. I've given my opponent a big time advantage. It's probably not the practical way to go. So I'm expecting my opponent Ekaf here will like to be aggressive. So I think he's seeing if he can continue some initiative somewhere, but the position can quickly turn volatile if he's not careful. All right, so here we go. Knight at h6. So I've not seen this move. That's potentially dangerous. So it takes knight f6, queen f6 takes, rook g2. I don't have a mate immediately, I don't think. I think that's a good move, this one. Alright, let's go very tactical. Knight takes e4. So if bishop takes, knight at h3. I'm here looking at takes, and then the opportunity to open up the file with g takes h6. Yeah, I think white could be mated here. This is all very sharp. So if takes, I think most accurate is to first recapture to have a pawn in hand. Yeah, I think I'm seeing mate here. So Takes. This is very sharp, guys. Takes, king h1 is not so good because of knight f2. So takes, king g2, gh, pawn at g3, or knight at g3 you'll have to do. I'll have an extra knight to hit with f4. If the king runs back to, I've got pawn at g2. If the king runs up, I've got bishop g4, mate. I had to take this sharp path, knight e4, because the alternative of g takes h6 just wasn't as good. So he's gone into the corner here. I should probably capture with this knight. I need to start moving quicker here. Okay. Let's be sharp here. I want to grab this queen if I can. Alright, we've got mate now. So look, very happy to take that match. I already got second round play and already a really crazy tactical play there. I nearly missed this. It took me a while to find knight e4 in this combination. There were some other variations, but I think it's all in black's favour from knight takes e4. So I was a bit surprised at that. I could have been in trouble with knight at h6 here. So we've got Evan De Philippis. He's joined the channel. Hey John, hello. Okay, Russ Magic. Okay, so we've got a French here. I'm going to go for an exchange and pin this knight. Yeah. How do I want to play this one? Play queen e2. So this is quite a standard move, queen e2. All very symmetrical. All right, we'll play pawn h6. This is a bit more of an aggressive play. The point of pawn at h6 is to weaken the dark squares here, and there's a few tricks. So the idea of this trick is if rook g8, there's bishop c6, b takes c6, knight at f6. So you can see this game can quickly change. There's with just one pawn on h6, there's some weaknesses that can appear here and some tactical tricks. So now rook at f8 may become viable as well. And I've also got to look out at home to see what can happen on my side. I've got to be careful. Pawn at d2. Let's have a think about this. Maybe I should leave this and play king f1. I think I shall do that. So I need to be careful to make sure after queen e2, that knight e2, that I'm not getting mated with some kind of queen at e1 combination. That's certainly a possibility. So I'll take here. Yeah, I actually think queen at e1 could be quite dangerous. My opponent's also found another dangerous continuation here, so um, now I may be fortunate enough to have some kind of mating combination as well with the rook at e8. I'm going to put the rook on f8 first. That forces a block, but then I can capture it and then play knight f6. The reason why I'm doing this is it forces black to use another piece there. Then I have a bishop in hand. Queen at e7 was no good because the bishop's defending it, but this line seems to work. I have a feeling queen at e1 was actually a stronger continuation for my opponent here. After capture, there might be something rook at a1. And I only had a queen in hand, so it may have been harder to defend. Perhaps I had king d2. It's a little bit unclear, but I'm happy with the way I finished this one at the end with rook at f8. It's quite accurate to get this extra bishop, or else finding mate is a little bit harder. Okay. E-Dog Bomb is in the house. Got Rodrigo Baridon has joined. He says, Hola Jan from Argentina. Hi, Rodrigo. Okay. So we've got 3 rounds down, 4 more to go. So these are the qualifiers. You need to place in one of the top 5 positions to secure a position in the main event. We've got, looks like about 58 players here. Still got a number on 3 out of 3. So Saucy is in there, CIIW. I'm not as familiar with most of these players. So. There's still a few matches going here. Let's have a look at one of these. I'll just make sure I can get back to my board. That's fine. So in this position, white has a large advantage. I'm just having a look at some of the other games while we wait. Black's been holed up in the back here, so safe for the immediate future, but white has all the space and all the flexibility. So here I'd play a move like knight at g5 to threaten knight takes h7. That'd be quite a strong move. I'm going to let this game play on. We'll see if I can get back to my tournament screen. Okay, so this is the last match to go. So practically speaking here, I mean, white should really just try to move faster because it's now getting down to a time scramble. White's got an advantage. Get that knight on g5. Try to get that mate in. It's very hard to defend h7. There's the knight. That's good. And we've got knight h7 to mate. So we should be going back to the tournament, going to the next round. Okay, so I'm up against Saucy. So here's a strong player. E-Dog Bomb says, John, did you hear Nakamura and MVL are supposed to play in this? Yeah, I've heard that they're possible contenders. I haven't heard they're confirmed, but if they're possible contenders. E-Dog Bomb, he says, are you excited about the prospect of crushing Naka? Oh, well, I shouldn't try to predict that. I mean, I'm more excited about the opportunity to play some of these super GMs. Not predicting that I'll necessarily win. I think that's a dangerous assumption to take into a match. Okay. So Saucy's offered me an early draw. I've declined. Let's take a look at this. How to proceed here. Bishop g4 is not as valuable as it usually is in these sorts of positions. I think I'll seek a trade of this bishop. So I'm in a very balanced position here. Both players have a lot to play for. So yeah, with the knight coming in here, I'm more inclined to hit on the light squares. So the tactics are knight b6 takes, bishop e6 takes. Yeah, we'll place a bishop on h5. I'm actually going to encourage the tactic on e6. It's not bad to have two pieces for the queen. And here's where the bishop on h5 is useful as a defender to cover g6 and f7. So I want to also create some pressure of my own on f3. Bishop at f7 is a defender on g6. It also attacks the queen. So I just want to consolidate the king side. Really not allow him in. I think he's aware that if he doesn't push forward, he's going to be on the defensive sooner or later. So I have 1 minute on the clock. I need to move a bit faster, manage the time situation. So I'm expecting he's seeking out an aggressive move here, potentially. And knight at d5. So I'll capture that one. Yeah, I think I'll bring the knight to e7 rather. That way there's no hole on e7 and I'm consolidating the light squares. Just make it hard for him to enter. So you can see while I'm a queen down here, there's an extra queen here, which has now been blocked off by the diagonal. Bishop at e4 is threatening queen at h7 mate. I've got to cover that. So now I want to be gradually putting on my minor pieces into good positions on the king side to maximize their utility. Just gonna keep my squares covered at the back here. Just covering c7 and e7. Just playing patiently here. So this queen is now actually trapped. There's a lot of squares it can go to, but they're all covered. So he'd want a pawn for a7. He might sacrifice a queen somewhere. And then, oh, he's going this way. Okay, time's getting fine. I need to start moving. Okay, I'm gonna slow down on the commentary now and pick up the pace. Oops, running too low on time. Oh dear. No, I messed that up. I lost that one on time. I think I've missed a mate somewhere here in the time scramble. So that was a nice game from Saucy there. I should see if I can review it. How do I go back? Well, that was the last game, so I won't get to review that one. Yeah, a little bit disappointed there. I think I needed to be more aware that my time was ticking down. So good match from my opponent. It's a lesson to be learned for the main event, I suppose, to look out for time a bit more. Okay, this is Bughouse Master. So I assume with a name like that, this opponent knows a little bit about Crazyhouse. In fact, I think maybe in the last game after Bishop at G2, they made his Queen at H3, but I put the Queen on the wrong square. I'm not sure what's going on here. If my opponent's just not there, or is Bughouse Master here with us? Maybe not. Oh, here we go. Okay, E4, D5. So I've picked up a couple pawns here. I've specifically played Queen E2 to ensure I'm not getting disadvantaged by pin. I'll be aggressive here with Knight F7 because if King takes F7, Pawn at E6 will be very strong. Okay. So how to cash in here? So again, let's not waste too much time. I didn't see a mate with Queen at F7. The Knight F4, a bit aggressive, trying to get in on here. Queen at E4. Maybe better just to hit the king. If the king goes to d8, then I can play bishop at g5 and pick up the knight. That's the only piece that's a thorn in my side at the moment. So it's really just to restrict my opponent's choices. If here, knight e7, and bishop c7 to mate. So yeah, material still needs to be respected in this game. Sometimes it can be thrown around a bit wildly, but it is important to hold on to material because it's not all about sacrificing at every point of the game. Okay. He dog bomb, he says the interface is clearly bad. He said virtually none of your pre-moves went through. That's alright. Okay, I'm just having a chat with Bughouse Master here. You won't be able to see it because my picture is covering the screen. Um, yeah, Bughouse Master, I think, is asked the question, do you know how tie breaks work? Because, we're saying top 5 get through, so if you've got more than 5, well, a number of players tied for 5th place, what happens there? So yeah, I hope they give some indication on what the tie break is going to be for this event. I'm not sure how that's going to work. Okay. Yeah, E-Dog Bomb is commenting. He says, "Hey John, we will also be playing in the Leechess .com. I think he means .org World Crazyhouse Championship. Yeah, I'll be participating in that. I mean, I think the format's not been decided for it yet. But it will be quite different to this in that it will be probably more of a knockout event, but then it will be a series of games that are played between players, which may occur over multiple weeks. So, this event's a fast and furious one Swiss tournament of 3 minute. I think the other one may also end up being something like 3 minute time limit, but you might have to win a series of matches against each opponent. Okay, Kamala Mac. So I'm not familiar with this opponent. I'll try to be practical, I think, and make sure I move quickly. Okay, we've got a Fianchetto here. I'm going to Fianchetto as well. Alright. I'm playing h6 just to prevent the pawn at h6 opportunity coming in. My opponent hasn't yet played it. So I'm going to play pawn at h3 first before trading the queens. So now I think a queen trade is appropriate. And I'm going to go for the jugular, go pawn at g2. Oh, I've got to be careful, pawn at h7 doesn't make me though. Alright, I'm committed. We'll find out if I've made a mistake. Pawn at h7, I've got to play king h8 because knight at g5 would be mating. But maybe there's some kind of nasty continuation with queen at g8. Yeah, I'm playing into a bit of risk here. I'm probably not as concerned now I've got a bishop in hand. The line I was looking at was pawn at h7, king h8, queen at g8, rook takes, takes promotes to queen, king takes, rook d8 check, and I would only have queens in hand. Bishop f8 looked too dangerous because of knight at f6. I'd have to play something like queen at f8, rook takes, king takes, and then rook at d8 blocks with rook, knight at h7, king g8, rook d8. I have a feeling maybe this knight takes e4 sack is actually not a good idea, objectively. Now it's a little bit different because pawn at h7, king h8, queen at g8, rook takes, takes. If rook d8, I have bishop at f8 to block. And that makes all the difference because after rook takes, king takes, he doesn't have another rook. So yeah, there's some fine points to this game. I still can't play king h7, that's going to be losing. But yeah, I think this was stronger before white took on g2. I think that's the difference. Now if rook takes f8, bishop takes f8 would get mated by knight at f6. So I'd have to take with the king. So to go through that line, rook takes f8, bishop takes f8, knight at f6 check, e takes f6, knight takes f6, king g7, bishop at h8 to prevent the black king from escaping, king takes h8, and then rook at g8 or rook at h7 mates. So yeah, after rook takes f8, you can't play king h7 either because of knight at g5, h takes g5, knight takes g5, king h6, rook at h7. So I'm expecting capture there. Now I've not seen this move. Pawn at h7. That's a really good move. That might actually make all the difference. I can't play king h8 because rook takes, bishop takes, rook at g8 takes, knight at f6 takes, knight f6 takes. I must take this. And even then, maybe I'm still mated. The knight g5, very dangerous. If I capture takes, that actually helps him because he has another pawn in hand. I'm going to have to go to g8. So I think I may still be lost here. Oh dear, rook at a5. Well, that's really unfortunate. That's a mouse slip there. Rook at d8, rook at e8, knight at h7, king g8, rook takes e8 check. Yeah, I'd be forced to play queen at f8. And then rook takes, bishop takes, knight f6. He's got mate with the queen. No, that's a fantastic resource he's found here. I was actually quite wrong. This is all winning for white. In fact, even after bishop g2 and h takes g2, I'd missed the pawn at h7 resource. So that was a fantastic game by my opponent. That's just really nasty. He slipped on the mouse here because he's clearly winning from this position. So I feel quite dirty about that actually. All right, let's go check out a couple of the other games. What that really speaks to is that this knight takes e4 sack I've put in is actually premature, and I should not have played it. I should just keep developing with knight c6 and play for some advantage there. But I think that's a fascinating game. How sharp the play is. I thought black was definitely better after playing h6. So Saucy's now on 6 out of 6. He's done very well. Last round's going to matter to determine the top 5 positions. So yeah, with 3-0, there's got to be a balance of using that time wisely and also playing too quickly. So I get Mr. BF in the final round here. Right, welcome to round 7. Clocks will start in 10 seconds. That's how it works. Okay, so h6 has been played to prevent things like knight g5. So yeah, I'm considering queen b3 here, doing something a little different. Alright, let's not spend too much time. So completely balanced position here. Got the queen here. So we playing b4 earlier. It's really just to stop knight a5. So yeah, both players looking pretty solid here. Getting knight h4 into counter f5. If he wants to pick off a pawn, I'm going to recapture on e4. And after queen takes h4, knight at f5 is trapping the queen. Queen g3 is covered with a knight. The key point is the knight on d8 prevents the retreat square. So he's backed off here. This is an improvement on this piece. Now, if queen f6, I'm going to be keen to open up some trades with some bishop e6, ap, bishop at e7. Because he's gone this way, I think my preference is to take on h6. Open up the position a little bit this side. So I'm hitting this bishop here now to undermine f7. That's where I've got a lot of pressure. He's still got 3 defenders. I've got 3 attackers. So that's the logical progression. He might capture this and capture this knight. Oh, he actually has 4 defenders. Yeah, maybe that's a little bit loose here, because now he's got, he's going to get a knight back with the tactics. Okay, I'm starting to run low on time. I've got to be practical here. I think I need to accept I've been a bit loose. Pawn at g7 is now a threat. I actually think after bishop at f5, he may have a better move. I prefer black here, not white. Even though I have the queen, I don't have enough to hit with. And there's some dangerous threats coming. I'm going to block off this diagonal, because that's got rook takes f2, knight at g3, there's some threats. So I like the way my opponent's playing, he's playing well. I might have to defend here. I've got 26 seconds. Played the middle game a little bit too loosely. Oh, I'm playing for some wishful thinking here if I'm looking for a good result. Yeah, not happy with how I played this. No, this is toasted. Absolutely toasted. Oh, don't tell me. Yeah, I'm just dead lost there. My opponent's made a mistake at the last minute. He shouldn't play. He shouldn't have played King H8. If we go back, um, he he should just take the knight, and it's clearly winning because the knight's covering f7, so rook f7 isn't anything. So um, yeah, if any comments, I've finished my 7 out of 7 rounds. I'm going to qualify, but yeah, I've played two fairly bad games, which came away with a win. Played one game that ended up in a loss, where I probably should have won at the time scrambles. So, yeah, I think come for the main event, this kind of play is not good enough to cut it. But I've been very lucky today. So yeah, I'm considering it might be worthwhile playing a few more of these events to practice and warm up. This is the first qualifier. I'm going to just go back to the page again. So just a reminder, we've got 20 qualifier events happening for the main event. You've got, they're starting today, they're running at 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Pacific. You've got 20 opportunities because there's 2 qualifiers a day. You can attempt to qualify as many times as you like, so get in early. If you want to join in this, you know, it's open to all, it's free to play. There's a $2,000 prize pool, $500 for first prize. You know, it's very generous of chess.com to make this openly available to all. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the game getting a big boost, lots of new players coming into the game and learning it. Yeah, what else can I say? Nothing to lose. Get in and play. I don't really feel like I should apologise for the quality of my play today, but I hope it's been interesting to hear my comments on these. I'll certainly be looking to get some more practice in before the main event, which happens on December 10th. So I'm going to close off the stream there. I've got to get ready for work. Good luck. Hope to see you in the main event. All right, I'm signing off. Thanks.